Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. Today I wanted to do a makeup look. So I am testing out some new makeup. I tried the Natasha Denona Zendo palette for the very first time today. I had a little bit of trouble, but you'll see what happens in the video. And then I have some other new products. I have the new Urban Decay All-Nighter Powder, the Buxom Plump Shot. Let's jump into it and I'll show you guys how I got this look. So I did my skincare. I wanted to mention the sunscreen I'm using because I have been loving this. It works so well on its own, but also under makeup. It gives your skin a really pretty natural glow. This one is the Tula Skincare Protect and Glow Daily Sunscreen Gel. This is very, very lightweight, really smooth on the skin. Obviously, it's going to protect your skin, but on top of that, I just like the way that it makes my skin look and feel. So it wears really well under makeup, and this has been my favorite lately. So I am going to go in with just a little bit of the Farsali Liquid Powder Oil Balancing Serum just in my T-zone. I like the Tula SPF because it gives your skin such a pretty glow, and I think that works so well for the rest of my face, but this is where I get the most oily, so I usually do need just a little bit of help when it comes to a separate primer. So I am going to go in with the Kosas concealer and just spot conceal just a little bit on areas where I tend to be the most red or I feel like I need a little extra coverage. I've really been liking this method rather than going in with foundation and then spot concealing afterwards, because I think when you layer the concealer underneath the foundation just blends everything together really well. So I did purchase this concealer during the Sephora VIB sale, and I don't love it under my eyes. I just feel like it tends to look a little bit heavy and cakey, but it does work well as a spot concealer because it is a little bit more hydrating. So I think that it is more of a forgiving formula. It just blends out really easily. It doesn't cling to any dry areas. For foundation, I'm just going to be using my go-to, the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Hydrating Foundation. I have the shade Light 45W, and I love this formula because it is so smoothing. It feels really good on the skin. It's just very, very lightweight. I always list the brushes that I'm using in the description box below in case you guys are interested, but I've actually been liking this e.l.f. Putty Primer Applicator for foundation. They did create this brush with the intent to use it with their actual putty primer, but I do like the putty primer. I just typically apply that with my fingers, and I like that this one is a little bit smaller because I feel like I'm just able to get such a smooth, even application with my foundation. I don't like using a sponge because I feel like it always shears out my foundation, and I like it to have like its true coverage. So if it's a medium coverage foundation, I feel like a brush will give you that medium coverage, whereas a sponge will tend to give me more like light to medium. I have been enjoying the new LYS foundation. I was going to use that in today's video, but I am in the process of testing out a new powder. So I wanted to use a foundation that I know wears really well so I can see how the powder actually wears throughout the day. This really is just one of my favorite foundations. I think it came out maybe 2 summers ago and I've loved it ever since. But I will say that this foundation goes on top of this sunscreen so beautifully. They just pair really well together. So I think that's why I've been enjoying the Tula one so much, because it just gives your skin such a pretty glow while still protecting your skin, which is obviously the most important factor. I'm just going to take a little bit of the Too Faced Born This Way concealer and blend this out under my eyes and between my brows, just to even everything out, and then I'm going to set it into place before going in with that new setting powder. So I do have a new powder. I've only worn it once, and I'm excited to try it out again today. It is the Urban Decay All-Nighter. This is a translucent powder. It is a softening loose setting powder. So let me read some of the claims to you guys. It's supposed to be a setting powder that will set your makeup, smooth your skin, and minimize shine all day long. It's supposed to be long-lasting without settling into pores or fine lines and leave your skin feeling fresh and natural. So like I said, I did wear it one other time. I was just kind of messing around and applying it quickly. So today I want to give it a fair chance with my favorite foundation to see how it does lock my foundation into place, if my skin gets really oily, and if it does kind of smooth over everything. So I'm going to be just using a large fluffy brush to apply this. Now this powder does have the net packaging, which is one of my big pet peeves when it comes to makeup packaging. I just did a video kind of recently on like makeup packaging I don't like, and the net was one of the things that I mentioned. The reason for me is just because when you dip your brush in, like a ton of powder just kind of floats out. So I feel like it is very messy. I also feel like I tend to waste product when I use powder that has a net packaging. Sorry, I cannot multitask today. I can't talk and apply my makeup at the same time. So anyway, this is a very, very lightweight powder, which I think is nice because Sometimes when you apply powder, it can look very heavy, very cakey. That's not the case with this one. For me, I've been enjoying a little bit of a softer, light powder that will lock my makeup into place. Sometimes I feel like I have to really layer on the powder to get my foundation to stay into place, and that's just not my goal for the summertime. I want something really lightweight, a little bit more smoothing, and I do feel like this gives my skin a very smooth look, especially compared with this foundation, which tends to be really smoothing on its own. So far I am enjoying it. I'll keep you guys posted. I just want to continue to try it out with some different foundations, some different products to see if I do still enjoy it. But in the past, Urban Decay's all-nighter line as a whole has worked really well for me. So I just applied some eyeshadow primer and set everything into place with an eyeshadow, which is what I typically do before I do my eyes. And I am going to be using the new Natasha Denona Zendo palette. So let me do a close-up for you guys and some swatches. This is the only product in today's video I haven't actually tried out at all. So today's video is going to be like a complete first impressions using this. I asked you guys on Instagram if you wanted to see like a warm, pinky, corally look, or if you wanted to see a cooler green blue look, because the right side of the palette is a little bit more cool toned, and I think like 70% of you said a cooler toned look. So that's what I'm going to go for today. I'm going to go pretty colorful today, so let's start with the shade Breath. I can't tell if this is one of her cream to powder formulas because it doesn't look or feel like a traditional powder. I think it is one of those cream to powder formulas. So we'll see how this blends. I'm going to kind of use it as a transition color. This actually looks terrible. Can you see how it's just kind of like dragging across the eyelid? Okay, let's switch gears. Actually, let me just swatch this. So it definitely swatches better with my finger and kind of blends out better with my finger. So let me apply a little bit to the eye with my finger and see if I can kind of smooth things out a little bit. Yeah, I would say that's probably better. I don't know about this shade. Probably not a great start for me. I don't know. I don't love this shade. I need to go on her Instagram and see how she uses this shade. There is a texture like this in the Love palette, and honestly, I just tend to skip over it. Okay, let's go in with the shade Zeal and just kind of blend that over this color. All right, it's already not blending on top very well. I think it's because it is layered on top of that creamed powder shadow, but you know what? I'm just going to go with it. I think I'll be able to make it work. I don't know. This looks bad. Like, it looks patchy and uneven. I think I need to start the eyes over. Let me take this off and start over. Okay, let's try this again. So I set some eyeshadow primer onto my eye. Why is this looking so patchy? I'm going in with the shade Zeal, which is kind of like that forest green. And I'm trying to blend it into my crease, but it's not looking very good. It might just take a little bit of extra effort. So I'm just going to sit here and kind of work it back and forth and see if I can get it to blend out. But it does look patchy. It's a little bit more difficult to blend. I thought the issue was that lighter green, but it might actually be this one or both of them. I just added a little bit more to the brush. I haven't actually watched any videos where someone used this palette yet. I've seen a few thumbnails, and it did look like maybe people had mixed feelings about this. So I'll have to go back and watch some videos after I film this and see what people are saying. I'm just going back in with that fluffy brush, and I'm going to kind of work the color up as a transition color. It looks pretty patchy. It's definitely not one of the more smooth, even shadows from Natasha Denona. That definitely helped. I'm just going to go in with a little bit more of Zeal from the Natasha Denona palette and kind of build that up in the crease a little bit. Hopefully blend away some of that unevenness. Okay, so let me do the same thing on the other eye and then I'll be right back. So next I'm going to go in with the shade Mantra, and this one is like a deeper kind of teal, and I'm going to focus this on the outer corner. This shade is really pretty. I think this would look so pretty all over the lid too, but I just kind of want to focus it on the outer corner, add like a pop of color, just kind of darken things up a little bit. This one is applying really nicely. There's also not really any fallout with this color. So let me just actually do the same thing on the other eye. That honestly just took a few seconds. Next, I'm going to take the shade Equilibrium. This one is like a deep blue, and I'm just going to blend that all over the lid. This is a little bit more satin looking. It's not like a true intense Natasha Denona metallic. It's a little bit softer. I am getting just a little bit of fallout with this one. I'll probably have to go in and kind of clean things up once I'm done. That actually looks really pretty. So let me do the same thing on the other eye and then I'll be right back. So I feel like this is coming together a little bit better. I'm just going to go in with the shade Flow, which is like a really pretty bright blue. And I'm just going to layer that over these and kind of focus it on the center. This shade is a little bit more intense than the last one. I'm excited about this shade because I don't have a lot of colorful Natasha Denona shadows. My most colorful palette is probably the Love palette. Sunrise has some colorful shades in it as well, but I don't have any blues from the brand. I don't think I have one blue Natasha Denona shadow. I'm just going to line my eyes with the Urban Decay Perversion liquid liner, and then I'll be right back to do the lower lash line. I cleaned things up because there was quite a bit of fallout, but now I'm just going to go in with the shade Mantra on the lower lash line and just blend that out to tie everything together. I'm going to take the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil in the shade Overdrive and just use that on my waterline. This is a really pretty emerald green, and then I'm just going to take a little bit on the lower lash line just to darken things up a little bit. Last thing, I'm just going to finish up with a little bit of the shade Flow, which is the brighter blue, and again, just blend everything together on the lower lash line just to tie it all together. I'm just going to take the e.l.f. Wow Brow Gel and run this through my brows and give it a few seconds to dry before I go in and fill them. So for mascara, while that's drying, I'm just going to use the Bite Beauty Upswing Mascara. When I initially got this, I wasn't sure about it because I felt like I made a mess every time I used it, and I still feel like that, but I do feel like if I'm a little bit more careful, I can get it to apply well, and it does give my lashes a ton of volume while also making them look really long and dramatic. So I have been using this one quite a bit lately. But can you see how well this mascara is working even just on the first coat? Like, it really makes such a difference. I don't think I'm going to go in with false lashes because I feel like this mascara did a pretty good job. Now, before I finish off my brows, I do want to use this product from Buxom. This is their new Plump Shot. So it's supposed to be a lip plumper. It says that it's supposed to visibly plump your lips and decrease the appearance of lines and wrinkles instantly. So I did use this the other day. And what I liked about this one compared to other lip plumpers is that it wasn't as painful. I'm just going to apply one layer of this and we'll see how much it actually plumps my lips while I'm doing my brows. But some lip plumpers can be extremely painful. The Too Faced lip injection is just a little bit too strong for me. So I felt like this one worked, but it wasn't as painful. Like, there is a little bit of tingling, kind of like a minty feel, but it's not as strong as the Too Faced lip plumper. So I thought I could use it on camera and we can see how it works. So to fill in my brows, I'm going to use the Urban Decay Brow Blade. This is my go-to. It is a 2-in-1. So I'm going to start with the actual pencil side and then quickly fill in my brows. I've done this on camera a million times, so I won't spend too long doing this. But I like the pencil side to kind of define my brow. And then I'll flip it over and use the ink stain side to create hair-like strokes. What's interesting about this lip plumper is I feel like it makes my lips look bright pink. So I don't have anything else on my lips right now, and they're already a lot brighter than they were when I initially applied it. And some lip plumpers kind of make your lip line look really red too. So this one, I mean, it's getting brighter as the seconds go by. So now that my brows are filled in with the pencil, I'm just going to take the ink stain side and lightly define them. I have been using some drugstore brow pens that work really well too, but I am out of them. I ran out of them, so I actually placed an order and repurchased them because I really like the Milani pen and I also like the NYX pen. But the brow blade is just such a good staple because it works so well. So I just applied a little bit of eyeshadow on my brow bone and then I covered that freckle on my nose. I'm also just going to take a little bit of highlight right on my nose so it doesn't look as matte, and that pretty much finishes it up. So as for the lip plumper, they definitely look brighter. So I think that is something to know in case you're not looking for that. I didn't add any lip color on top. It looks like I'm wearing pink lipstick. So I like this because it has like a nice fresh minty feel, but it's not too strong. It's not painful by any means. There is a tingle, but it's not over the top. It kind of feels like the regular Buxom glosses. So I wouldn't say this lip plumper is as strong as other lip plumpers that I've tried, but it does seem to work. My lips look a little bit bigger. They do look smooth. So I am going to wipe this off. Maybe I'll leave it on underneath my lip color. I'm going to be using the ColourPop Lippy Pencil in the shade Ashton, which is like a cooler toned nude. Okay, so I just wiped it off because I can't apply the lip liner on top, but you can go in with that and layer it on top as like the finishing step if you want more of a plumping glossy effect. So I'm just going to be using, like I said, the ColourPop Lippy Pencil in the shade Ashton, and I'm just going to line my lips. I don't know if I'm going to be able to cover all the redness from the lip plumper. On top, I'm just going to be using the ColourPop Luxe Gloss in the shade Health Kick, which is a really pretty cooler toned light nude. It's pretty sheer, but it adds like a nice glossy finish. Okay, and this is the final look. I feel like the eye look came together in the end. I'm happy with the final look overall. I think when it comes to this eyeshadow palette, there is quite a bit of fallout with the deeper shades. So I might recommend doing your eyes first. I did have to go in and clean it up a little bit, but I'm excited to use the other half of the palette because I think those are the shades that I would reach for more so during the summertime. And when I do want a little bit of a cooler, smoky eye look, I could deal with a little bit of fallout. I was just surprised by the first two shadows that I used because they didn't feel like Natasha Denona quality. So now I'm curious about the other half of the palette. I hope it performs well. As for the powder, I do feel like it's sitting on my skin really nicely. I have wrinkles on my forehead, so as I like express my face throughout the day, you can kind of see them a little bit more, and sometimes powders will kind of settle into those wrinkles or enhance them, but I don't feel like they're really enhanced or super noticeable right now. So this does seem to be a very lightweight smoothing powder that does lock my makeup into place. So I'm excited to keep using it. I'll keep you posted in a few weeks. And as for the lip plumper, I kind of shared my thoughts on that. The only thing I will say is that I feel like my lip line, it kind of looks a little bit messy. Like I almost had to overline my lips to cover up all the redness. So it might be more ideal after you apply that to go in with a little bit of concealer or foundation and kind of go over your red lip line before going in with makeup. But I will say that I think my lips do look plump. I mean, obviously I overlined them and I did apply a gloss, but I do think it works well. So if you don't want something that's going to sting your lips to the point of pain, but you want a little bit of a plumping effect, then you might enjoy that. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope that you guys are having a great day. I'll see you very soon with a new video. Bye.